आप इन्हें प्यार का पंचनामा 2 की चिक्कू कहो या सोनू के टिट्टू की स्वीटी, आज के हमारे गेस्ट ने ऐसी छलांग मारी है that she is truly proved to be Bollywood's dream girl. On this episode of Sunday Brunch, we welcome Nusshrat Bharuccha and trust me, इनकी स्माइल ने लोगों का दिल जीत लिया है और बात जब स्माइल की हो तो हैप्पीडेंट तो बनता है. So today I'm going to have Happydent White Sugar Free with xylitol, which takes care of my oral hygiene on the go and is the reason behind my sparkling smile. Hi Nushratt, welcome to Sunday Brunch on Curly Tales. So glad that you could join us. So where are you spending your time right now?
I am watching the sunset over this really beautiful garden in front of me in Bhopal. I'm at the Marriott here, and today is my first proper off day from a really hectic sketch that I've been doing. And you can see that I'm a little better and alive today, but all the other days I felt like the life is drained and sucked out of me.
क्या बात है, मतलब 2020 में किसी की फिल्म नहीं रिलीज हो रही है और आप छलांग पे छलांग मार रहे हो और शूट कर रहे हो. हाउ इज इट गोइंग?
No, those 7 months of lockdown, I was working through it as well. But every day of the lockdown, I kept wanting to be back on a set. I kept wanting to be back in front of a camera. I kept wanting to do a scene. I kept wanting to take a character. I kept wanting to do lines. And I was like, oh my God, I miss this so much. That I remember saying this in the lockdown. I said, Jesse, he will come back to life. I will be working back to back. I'll not take a break. And I'm actually doing that. I just said it, but it's come true. I'm working non-stop back to back till May as of now. Like
Wow.
back to back. Like
You've not even had the time to explore Bhopal so far, not at all, is it?
not at all. I have no clue what street this is. And I have no clue.
Chalo, then let's talk about Mumbai. You've born and brought up in Mumbai in a Bori family. What is the kind of food you've grown up eating? Anything special that you truly enjoy?
For me, so Bori food is a little different than Gujarati food. So there are a few Bori delicacies that I absolutely swear by. And I feel like you have that little comfort food that you kind of take to and you feel like, Mom, can you make that for me? Like, can I have that? And can we do that? So there are these vadas that my mom makes, which is some moong dal ka vadas that she fries. And that with chai is like, it warms my soul. It warms my heart and soul. And people didn't believe me, but my whole team, like my makeup and hair team, when they came home, my mom made some vadas and gave them, and they flipped over it. So every time they come to my house, they tell my mom, Auntie, can you make this vadas again? So we have that one thing that crap. I want to eat a vada now. Kamiya, how can you make me talk about it? I want to eat it now.
I've had a Bori thal once, and what I understand is that before the mains, the dessert is eaten before the main dish. Is that right?
Of course. Of course. And not just before, it's eaten after every other main dish also.
So do you
So there are certain thal rituals where they start, of course, with meetha. Then they give you some starter, which is they call it kharas because it's matlab, like not meetha, kharas, whatever. So there's one starter, and then they do another meetha.
Oh God.
And then they do another starter, and then they go to the main course. And after main course, there is again meetha in the end. It's just meetha, 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 meetha.
So the entire community loves meetha is what I understand.
Oh, we love food. We love food. Like, you got our hearts, minds, bodies completely yours if you just give us food and good food.
Are you sure about this? Because I'm going to play a fun food quiz with you just to find out how much you know food. Are you ready for this?
Please go ahead.
Play a fun game called Eat-O-Meter that is presented by Happydent, and if you get 5 or above answers right, you're going to win this amazing hamper by Happydent. It's got Happydent sugar-free products which can be your perfect post-meal companion. So let's get started. You've actually been to Jai Hind College, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but my question is not about Jai Hind. It's going to be about HR College, the first one.
Okay. The canteen of HR College.
Yes.
The
Okay.
famous HR college canteen for its Chinese.
You already know my question and the answer. My God.
Oh, really? So did I win point one? Yes!
Hold on. We'll get into the specifics. So the first question is,
Okay.
out of the three options, which was HR college most known for serving in the canteen? Okay. So the option one is Anna Idliwala. Suraj Frankie is the second option. And the third option is Raju Chinese.
Raju Chinese.
Yeah.
HR's Chinese was very, very famous.
Yes.
Like Casey didn't have Casey and HR at the same wall. So you would
Yeah.
actually hop, skip, and go to HR to eat HR food just because it's Chinese. Am I right? But
You're right. You're right. You get 1 point. Okay.
good.
It's not all that easy.
Huh.
Okay. Nushrat? The second one is
Yeah, I know. Listen, it's already tough. This, if you'd ask me straight away, I'd be like, what is she talking about? Tell me.
okay. This place started in 1946 and is one of the oldest eateries of Colaba where you get the best rolls and kebabs. Okay. Option A is Ayub's. Option B is Bade Mian. Option 3 is New Martins.
Okay, look, I'm sure it's not Ayub's because Ayub's is very now. I've lived off Bade Mian. But what year did you say? 19 what?
1946.
I do not think it should be Bade Mian. I don't think they existed in 1946. So I'm just going to, based on logic, go with New Martins and let's see if I'm right or wrong.
It is Bade Mian.
Am I wrong?
Existed, yes.
Oh, shit!
It existed in 1946. Nushrat, never mind. This one,
Are you serious?
yeah. Now this one's
Holy hell.
this is again a Kolaba question. Which year was Leopold Cafe established in? Option A.
It's written on the it's written over there. I don't remember it. I hate you all.
And the option
I've lived in Leopold's. I can't believe it. Okay, give me the options. Let's see.
Okay, option A 1871. Option B 1879. Option C 1888.
I am failing this very badly, but I'll go with option one just because it sounds nice. Don't ask me for logic.
Oh wow, you've got it right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes! I'm glad about Leopold's questions by heart and soul. How could I have lost this one?
Okay.
Oh, yay!
This one's easy. Okay. This is an iconic
Okay.
roadside dosa joint in Khar next to JML school. Option A, Raju.
Mani dosa.
Right. Very good.
I live in Mani dosa.
I know it's one of your favorite dosa places, right?
You do? How do you know that? Have I said that? I have. I think I have, right?
Yeah, I've been stalking you.
Yeah. So am I right? Am I right?
You are right. You've got at least 3 answers right out of 4.
Out of 4.
Out of 4, yeah.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Okay.
next.
The next one. This is one of the most oldest and famous places to eat vada pav in Mumbai, and it is outside Kirti College. Okay. Option A, Ashok vada pav. Option B, Auntie vada pav. Option C, Anand vada pav.
Where's Kirti College? Okay, I'll say Anand Vada Pav. I don't know why.
Okay, Anand is near NMIS College, no?
Crap. So is it Ashok?
Yes. It is.
I should have
Ashok vada
stuck to
pav.
one, yeah. One is good for me. Just option one.
So complete the following names of the Bori dishes. Okay. Number 1, Daganni,
Seek.
Sarki dal.
Huh? Sarki dal and chawal. Sarki dal and chawal.
Okay, let me ask you this. So what is DCP?
Dal chawal palidu.
Okay, so not bad, Nushrat. Very good. You win the amazing hamper, which will be sent to you for sure. Either your Mumbai address or Bhopal address. Okay, talking of.
Nonetheless, I'll eat it all.
Okay, so tell me, in terms of street food, what do you enjoy eating the most in Mumbai?
I could go on. The list is absolutely endless. But I think as a child, I grew up eating Quality Ka Frankie, which is at, you know Quality. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my God. Quality Chinese. The Frankie is unreal. Then Mani's dosa, my Mysore cheese masala dosa. Oh God. Amar's cheese pav bhaji. Oof, cannot talk about it. I want to eat plates of it. And my 10th road ka pani puri. Oh my God. My 10th road pani puri guy is outstanding. You cannot beat him. Cannot beat him. But yeah, I'm a full street food person. Like I need to eat what is there. Like in Bombay. I need that. I need those night drives also. And Chinese people are open in the night. So I go, but I take my own like cutlery. Like I'll take my own bowl and spoon and my own plate. Even to money, I take my own plates.
You were actually working at a radio station, right? Before you got your first break. Tell us about that as well.
I was at Drive. There was a show called Drive at Red FM. I was an intern on that. It was a compulsory thing we had to do because I was doing mass media. And in mass media, they actually ask you to go out and do an internship somewhere, some media house. And Red FM gave it to me. So I was interning for them for a few months before I ventured into my own.
So, were you a BMM student at Jai Hind College?
Yeah.
Same here, but not Jai Hind College. I was a national student, and I remember how we had this rivalry amongst all the BMM students.
Of course, we were at each other's throats because we wanted to prove to each other that we are smarter than the other one. I don't know why. We just kept doing that. 2 years in Jai Hind, I just felt very connected to Jai Hind. I don't know why. I just had that thing. So I said, I want to go to Jai Hind only. So I went back there.
And how would you travel every day from suburbs to town?
Train.
Also, you've taken local train in Mumbai.
Local trains. I would take a bus which is 231 from opposite my house. That would take me straight to Santa Cruz station. And then I would take a train from Santa Cruz station to Churchgate. And then obviously from the station, Churchgate station, I would walk to Jai Hind.
Okay, so let's talk about travel, and our platform is known for travel. You are known to be quite a traveler. I've heard you talk about how you would travel with your parents, go hiking, trekking with your parents. Tell us about that.
I think I'll give this to my parents. Yeah, my father is very adventurous. He loves trekking. He loves going on these nature trails. So he took me to the Himalayas on a really, really tough trek once to Brigu Lake, all the way up there. It was freezing cold and we were all dying, and living in tents and sleeping in sleeping bags. And I don't know why we were doing all those things when we did it. It was a lot of fun. So he and my mom kind of took me to a lot of these treks, and they made me adventurous. They gave me a taste for it, and it just stuck. So every time I would go out on a holiday, if I would see a small hill, I'll say, I'll come back in the evening. I'll just wear my shoes and trek up the hill, sit on top there, chill for a bit, and then trek back down myself. So I started doing these things on my own, and I love it. I think if you let me go, I'd probably just go and trek up a mountain or a hill. I mean, safely. I can't do those hectic ones. It has to be achievable. So that, and I think my love affair for travel, I think for me took a really huge leap or a turn when I started traveling alone. When I did solo trips, I was too scared. I was too petrified. I didn't think I would be able to do it, but I just threw myself in the fire. I just picked up a flight ticket and I booked a ticket and I landed up in Bali, and I had no clue what to do. I didn't have hotels booked. I didn't have a car. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know the map of Bali. I didn't know where to go. Left, right, straight, back. I didn't know anything. I just landed up and I just did what I did for 4 days. I just walked around. I did my own thing.
Wow.
Then I took off to Kashmir alone for 4 days. I don't know. I do these crazy things sometimes.
So tell me, which is your favorite place internationally and in India, both?
Yeah, internationally, I went to Portugal with my girls. That's the one girl trip I did, and I completely fell in love with the place.
Okay.
I don't know. I think roaming around on the streets, going to Sintra. Sintra is this one place which has these beautiful castles, and I love castles. And I was just like I think the security people had to come to me personally and say, "It's shut now. You gotta go. Get out. Like leave." I just spent the whole day there. Like it had something. The beaches in Portugal. Oh my God, Algarve is so beautiful. There's this one spot which is like a private beach, which has like a little hole in the crate on top through the rocks, and on certain days the moonlight floods the entire sort of like island thing there, and they do private weddings there. And I've already dreamed that a wedding should happen there on that little spot. India for me would be the mountains. Yeah, I think the Himalayas, Manali, snow. For me maybe that just the mountain part of ours of our country for me has just been so amazing. It's just Leh Ladakh. Oh my God, so beautiful, so beautiful. So for me, if it's India, then it's that.
And you brought this up, not me. Since you talk about your wedding, I'm going to ask you, what's your plan? You brought it up, not me. I'm just asking as a follow-up question.
Look, I'm a girl at the end of the day, and every girl has a dream wedding in her head, and every girl has different things they want to do. So I actually,
Yeah.
at various points of my life, want to do all kinds of weddings. I want to do like the 7-course big fat Indian wedding, and I want to do this nice white gown Christian wedding where I walk down the aisle with this nice veil and I say I do and all of that. So the first step in that process is to find a boy to get married to. So when I cross the first barrier, I'll tell you what my dream wedding can maybe look like. Not now.
Nushratt, I think with that we've come to an end of Sunday brunch. I really had fun chatting with you. Thank you so much for sparing time. The next time we meet, let's meet face to face. Actually enjoy a Sunday brunch together. Really look forward to that. And I have to say you're quite a chatty person.
I'm a mental person. Chatty is a very subtle word. Very subtle.